Dude, done at it.
We're live, fellas.
Yo.
Let's go.
See, now my picture's kind of lagging a little. I don't know.
They're getting the low budget crew tonight.
Low budget crew. We're lagging. We got no intro. And yeah, we're here. So happy Tuesday, fellas. Good to be back. Been pretty busy recently.
Just do the hey-yo.
Yeah, we'll leave that one. We'll leave that one for Bill. I think that's like a Bill move, right? It's like a signature thing. So, I don't know. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Keep Off the Grass live cast. Tuesday night. Nate, good to see you're alive.
Thank you.
Them tornadoes didn't get you.
What's that?
Tornadoes didn't get you. You're alive. House is intact. Everybody's safe.
Was around here, but thankfully, and we're good to go. But yeah, there's been quite a handful in Iowa, and definitely heard this year, and I think I've heard in the last 5 years. So.
You're like breaking up. I could barely follow along with what you're saying. Could you hear him, Olee?
He locked up.
Yeah, mine's kind of glitching too. Everybody, I don't know how long we'll be able to keep this up. He's like, wait a second, what is this? Yeah, exactly. We just said we got the low budget crew. My video's kind of lagging too. Nate's kind of lagging. I don't know what's happening here. Looks like an 8-bit track. Yeah, it does. Looks like an old Nintendo game, an old Atari game. How about that? Old Atari game.
Well, all right,
glitching
so
all over the place.
What are we talking about? What are we doing?
I don't know. I got no clue. I've been so busy over the last week. I haven't even really been in the chat. Obviously, you guys know that. But for everybody else listening, if we had something planned, I don't know. Brian had some stuff going on. Bill had some stuff going on. Zach's got stuff going on. I barely made it by the skin of my teeth. So, I don't know. What have you guys been up to this week? Oh, see, now it cleared up a little bit. You're not glitching. I'm not glitching. Maybe we'll be all right. Maybe we'll be all right.
You look better now.
Yeah.
Not much better, but better.
Well, your picture looks better. You still look like a bag of crap.
Yeah.
How's everybody's Memorial Day weekend? What'd you guys do? Anything good?
Work in the yard, mow, stripe, spray, watch the kids play in the pool. And
sounds good.
Trade a couple beers.
Yep.
About every free minute I've had, I've been trying to work on my irrigation and get my sod back together, trying to get some nutrients down, trying to roll it, just trying to get everything back together. And tonight I was out programming the zones right before the show, trying to get those all done, but just not enough time in the day.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I was going to try to get some stuff done. We were out of town this weekend. We were down at my in-laws' house, hanging out, making some ribs. We made like 9 racks of ribs or something. Smoked those all day Saturday. They were fantastic. But, yeah, I don't know. I didn't get much yard work done. I'd hoped to on my little putting green side that I'm making. I'm gonna rip out all those boxwoods because they're just like sickly. I was hoping that they'd come in better this year because I was like trying to fertilize them and bring them back to life, but they're just look like trash. Like they were looking pretty good at the beginning of spring. They were like filling in, they were growing, they were looking all right, and ever since then they just keep dropping little leaves and messing up my beautiful mulch beds and getting on the grass, and they just look like crap. So I'm gonna rip all those out, and I'm putting in like like a tall, grassy bush. So that'll be pretty. Those will be pretty nice. I went and bought a bunch of those last week. I was hoping to get them in on Monday, but then we had some crazy thunderstorms roll in too, so did not get that done. So they're just sitting on my patio in their little pots, waiting to be planted. So hopefully I can get out there this weekend and get those boxwoods ripped out. You know, rework the that bed, and then get those grassy shrubs planted. I forget exactly what kind of grass it is. It's like you know, that tall like kind of like seagrass looking stuff. I don't know. I'll look it up and let you guys know. But hopefully that'll look cool.
Sand it again, or are you gonna wait till fall?
What's that?
Are you gonna sand it again, level it with sand, or are you gonna wait till fall?
Yeah, so what I think I'm going to try to do through the summer is I bought a drop spreader, and you know, just like a cheapo Scott's one from Home Depot, and I'm going to try to like top dress it every couple weeks with that instead of like going full on like flinging sand and everything else. I'm going to try for the gentle route kind of through the summer, because it's just now kind of starting to recover back and push through the sand. You know, there's some spots that were already kind of like slow to grow. They weren't looking too hot. You know, just where there wasn't a lot of seed that got put down. It just didn't grow in well in the fall. So trying to just kind of push some growth and see if I can get that to fill in a little bit. But they're kind of like smaller spots. So that might just end up being, I think one of them definitely is going to be like where the main flag's going to go. And then I got like 3 other little flags too. So I might just take those spots that are like slow to grow or that haven't grown much, or they're kind of, you know, little bare spots, or thin spots, I should say. And I might just use that and like I got a hole cutter. So that just might be where the cups go. But
That's a good plan.
But yeah, I think just got like a little Scott's drop spreader, and I'm just gonna go do it that way. And the problem that I have is the sand. What's that?
Are you gonna spoon feed it throughout the whole summer? Like,
yeah, that's kind of the plan. So I hit it with like probably like a quarter rate or a half rate application of like some 600. Like right after I did the sand, and you know, so I'll probably wait like another couple weeks and, you know, do that. But it also kind of bleached out. I also hit it with some tenacity, because I had a couple little sprigs of clover here and there, so I spot sprayed it with some tenacity to kill that off. So it bleached out a couple spots, but it's coming back, you know, now. Like I said, because I'd done that like right before I did the sand, then it started, you know, growing and bleached out, you know, some areas, hit it with the 600, and now it's kind of pushing through the sand and has grown out all that bleached out kind of look. So I'm pretty excited about it. So now I want to get some other landscaping done around it so it looks better. But yeah, neighbors think it's cool. I stood outside on Friday night and talked to like the old lady that lives next door. Her daughter was over, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, that looks so cool." She's like, in the fall when you ripped all that stuff up and it was all just dirt. I was like, "What is he going to do? What are you going to do over there?" She's like, "That looks amazing." I was like, "Well, why, thank you." She's like, "I'm going to send my husband over and get some pointers." And I was like, "Well, Keep Off the Grass live cast, you know, YouTube, check us out."
There you go. You should get one of those Pro Cores that, like, you know, the hollow tines, and the hollow tine aerate it before you do like your next light sand.
Well, I use the solid tines.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, I use the solid tines, you know, on the Landsy fork aerator. So yeah, I punched it and then put the sand down. So I'll probably, like I said, I don't know. Well, I'm gonna play it by ear, but I'm thinking I'll probably end up waiting until the fall till I punch it and like do a heavy sand again. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it's growing and like what it's looking like and all that other stuff. Was she hot? I don't know. I mean, she's like 65. I mean, not an unattractive 65-year-old lady, but you know.
Was that the daughter though? He was talking about the daughter.
Yeah. The daughter's like 65. I got an old lady. I got like an
Cool.
old Polish lady that lives next door. Like her
Cool.
daughter comes over and takes care of her because she's like, I don't know, mid to late 80s. But man, it's gonna look good though, Nate. Once you got all that stuff patched up, I think your lawn's gonna look amazing this year, having the irrigation.
Yeah, it's gonna take. I'm
She
sure.
got any money?
Slowly starting to try and put everything back together, but it's more work, or not work, but more.
Man, it's glitching all over the place tonight. I didn't hear anything of what you just said. And I don't know if anybody can hear me because I'm watching my video and it's like, it's glitching. Can you hear my audio good though?
Yeah.
Okay, so my audio is coming through, but my video is kind of glitchy. I don't know, fellas. I don't know. Nate says he's just gonna type.
Olee, what'd you do over Memorial Day weekend? Like, go into some more details. What'd you spray? What are you spraying for?
I sprayed another round of fungicides. So that day I started out with just went ahead and mowed it at 3.5. Once I got it mowed, and I give it a little bit of time, and then I jumped out there on the Z spray and I sprayed a Droxy and some propiconazole. So I got to build me a batch tank to where I can mix. I spray 60 gallons to the acre, and I want to build me a batch tank where I can mix all 180 gallons at one time and to just roll in and top off and roll in and top off instead of making 3 different batches and possibly forgetting something in those batches. Plus, I don't like mixing in the tanks because there is return. It's not considered agitation, but I would prefer to mix. Well, he gone.
Well,
I would prefer to mix it in something that actually had some heavy agitation. So I'm working on building a batch tank right now, or a mixing tank.
All right.
I got a 1/2-horse motor, and there he is. Let me let him back in. What happened, dog?
I was just trying to see if this would fix it.
Well, it looks pretty good now.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
There you go.
So what would that look like? Would you have that like on an elevated kind of pedestal or something, and then you could just kind of like drive your sprayer up underneath it and have like a spigot on the bottom, or how would you have to pump it out?
I'm gonna get a 200-gallon tank. I'm gonna get a 200-gallon tank. That way I can fit 180 in there and have room to cycle it. And it'll have this centrifugal force motor at the bottom pump. And then I just ordered what's called an inductor mixer, to where you can dump everything in that and it'll pull it through that and dump it at the top. It just keeps cycling, stirring everything. And then I'll have a hose about, I don't know, probably 10 feet, 1.5 inches, and I can just take and fill it up, just fill the tanks up with that.
Okay.
And it'll just plug in the wall 110. So as I'm spraying, I'll cut it off. But when I come back, I'll fire it up and let it circulate right quick to make sure everything's suspended. Fill the tanks back up. But the best thing is the mix will be the same from top to bottom. and I can keep topping off my tanks instead of now, I got 60 gallons and I suck the 230s. And as they pull down, you're out there spraying, and you got to keep an eye on the gauge. Run 30 pounds, 4 mile an hour. And if it starts dipping, then I know the tanks are, empty. So I got to figure out where I stop. And I'd rather just run. Luckily, I got the foam marker, and then go back and top off. Like every time it gets down to, say, 5 gallons in each tank, come back and just fill up, and just never grab that air, never, cavitate the pumps, just keep rolling. And I think I'll be faster at spraying too, because I can, instead of now, like say if I want to run 5 gallons of something to all 3 acres, I got to divide that 3 ways and then make that 3 tanks. Once I get this done, I'll just dump all 5 gallons in there, and it'll circulate in that total of 180 gallons, and then that'll get sprayed across the 3 acres. So I wanted this a while back, and I worked with a company and had this whole system built, and it got delivered by FedEx, and it was damaged. So I called them, told them I could fix it. They were like, "No, refuse it, send it back, we'll get it." And then they went belly up. They were gone. I should have kept it. And fixed it myself, but live and learn.
Well,
yeah, I remember you designing that.
Yeah, we went through a bunch of stuff, and man, we had it all figured out. It was cool as everything, and should have just kept it in my possession and fixed it. Instead, he's like, "Nope, they'll pay insurance," and then they disappeared. So
where on your property, where will you keep this tank? Like, where will you?
In my garage.
How high will it be?
It'll be 72 inches by 32. So it's a 32. It's a 200. It's a 200 gallon vertical tank.
Okay.
And then on the end, I'll have an inductor. The motor is set up under there, and it'd be pretty cool. I'll be able to dump like ammonium sulfate directly in the inductor. It's basically a big funnel.
Yep.
That you'll cycle some. It'll have a like a spray head in it. And then also when you have jugs, it'll have a deal where you can put a jug over it and mash, and it'll wrench your jugs out. And if you rinse the jugs 3 times, with fresh water, you can legally throw it in the trash, because then it's rinsed. So it's got a jug wrench to where you're not throwing stuff in the trash that's, nasty or chemicals. So it's going to work out good in the end.
That's cool, man. That's a big project. That's a big project.
Yep. I ordered the inductor a while ago, and I ordered the pump on the Memorial Day sale. Got some casters that'll be on some 4-inch heavy duty casters to where I can roll it out to the edge of the garage. So I guess it'll be some stories.
Yeah. So what stripe pattern are you rocking right now?
Maybe your favorite.
Oh, you better not. I saw you were playing around with that in the video. I see you only did like three of them, and then the video stopped. So I was like, I wonder if you finished it or not.
Yeah, it's double singles at 90 degrees instead of a 45. Instead of diamonds, it's going to be big squares.
Checkers or big squares instead of diamonds. Yeah.
Yeah, in a way, I wish I wouldn't have ran those wiggles, because now you can still see the wiggles. And so I guess a couple more mows will get rid of them.
Yep. Yeah, erase those.
It's starting to look good. It's starting to turn around.
I was actually out mowing yesterday, just my front yard, and I had the Cenex mower out and just kind of playing around with that thing. And so I was going, and I actually was going around my landscaping and just kind of following it. I turned around and I came back and I was following it. I turned around like, damn it.
Yeah, curvy stripes done bit.
I was. So actually I did the whole front yard that way. And, because every once in a while you got to change it up, and get completely different patterns in there, which that thing doesn't stripe very well unless if you go over several times, they'll stripe. But so I just did that. And then I went back to the straight ones like I have back here.
So the truth be known, you like curvy stripes after all.
No.
Yeah, sounds
No.
like it. Sounds like he's expanding his horizons. He's trying new things, you know. Don't knock it
No.
till you try it, kind of deal.
It was that damn sod threw me off when I was mowing.
Yeah, I've mown I think the last like 4 times I mowed with that Cinex mower. So I was like, oh, let me give this thing a shot, because I was letting my son use it in the backyard because he wanted to cut the grass. He was like, oh, I want to cut the grass. I was like, well, you can cut the back grass.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, come on. I was like, nah.
Yeah. Actually,
you're not there yet. You're not there yet.
There's one feature. There's one feature I actually really like about it. So if you put the grass chute on it, it comes out the back and like kicks to the side. So I've been using that the Cinex one for my hill. It's a lot lighter being a battery, and it doesn't have the striper on it, all that. So it's easier to maneuver around the trees. Well, every time I used to try my like Toro or whatever, it's got the side dismount, right? So if I'm trying to go around the trees, hell, 50% of the time I knock it off of there.
Yeah.
And and so this one, with it being on the back, you can get the side of the mower right up next to the trees and go around the trees. And actually, I really, really like that feature. And I've never seen that before on a mower, but that's one thing that I really like about it.
So now you got 2 trim edges. Since it's a rear discharge, you can trim left or right or left.
Yeah. Because the sides of the mower are basically just the deck. So so I go up against the tree, then go to the other side of the tree, and then because like when it's on the hill, it's not that easy. It's a good incline, so you're just trying to get as close as you can to the tree and go around it and stuff like that. So but no, actually,
it's pretty cool. I put the lawn striper on it, and that's what I used like the last 4 times I mowed. Which is not bad at all.
Send me pictures of which inserts you used.
Well, I didn't use the inserts. I kind of like jerry rigged it. So it's on there, and I just took like some scrap cloths so it didn't like ride up too much, just to help kind of push it in there. I just used some like old rags. Because it's got those like square, because it's got kind of like that
D. It's like a capital D. It's like a capital D.
Yeah, it's like rectangular, almost hexagonal. Like it's an interesting shape. So like there's nothing that Lawn Striper makes or that I have with my kit that attaches to it. But I was like, I could figure something out. I want to see how this thing rolls. Like I want to mow with it, but I also want some stripes. So it's been working out pretty good.
Yeah, I was actually playing around with that yesterday. I was trying to figure out what inserts worked best, and kind of tried every combo. Like on the inside, you could get the one insert to work pretty good, but there's nothing for that kind of outside.
Yeah.
And then it started raining, so I put it away and never messed around with it. But
yeah, so I played around with it. Just kind of rigged it up so it wouldn't bounce around too much. But yeah.
That's a good idea. Put some foam or some tape or something on the inside to like padding.
Yep. And honestly, the reason I've been using that is the bag on that, because I've been bagging all spring.
Mm-hmm.
And the bag on that is so much easier for me to dump into those like Home Depot paper bags than the one on my Honda. Like the one on my Honda, it's just like almost impossible to get it in there because it's wider. So it's like the mouth of those bags, it's like too wide for the mouth of those bags. And so you kind of got to like tip it, and then it gets all over the place. And I end up dumping half a bag of grass clippings on my driveway. But that Cinex one is like the perfect size to fit in that. And so that's honestly the main reason I've been using that thing so much, is I'm like, oh man, the cleanup is just a breeze, because I've been mowing like after work, mowing twice a week so far. And so I'll get like a midweek after work mowing, and it's just I can go out and just hit the front yard, and it's quick because I'm not screwing around with that. I'm not getting all dirty and everything else. So I can just go out and do it real fast. But yeah, I'm impressed with that little thing. It's not bad at all. But I've been playing around with that. And listen, man.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Been hearing that my whole life. Been hearing it my whole life.
All right.
But that's pretty much what I got going on. There's not a whole lot really happening.
I'll tell you, we've had so much rain that
Yeah, you have.
I mean, like I think we've got more rain in the last month than we've probably got in the last year. And like it's made, the project. I mean, the weekend we had to work on it last weekend or whatever, beautiful weekend, but then since then it's just been rain. So it's like haven't really been able to like mess around. I mean, it's good for like kind of putting things back together and it was soft and able to roll it. But just all the rains, like gosh dang, like all like the head areas were flooded and trying to put everything back together and trying to mow, and like my backyard is just so like swamped. Like I haven't even programmed the back heads yet because I don't want to run the sprinklers and try to like program them while it's still a swamp back there. I mean, I mowed like I can't remember what day it was, and you can just see tracks. I mean, it looks like someone was driving a mud truck through my backyard, just so bad. But you got to mow it because it's so long. It's growing like crazy, muddy like crazy.
That's crazy how it, you're just fighting Mother Nature's. Like one year, you can't get it to rain. Next year, you can't get it to stop. So
yeah, exactly.
It reminds me of there was some movie where they lived in a glass dome. It was like the perfect world.
Biodome.
I can't remember. Is that what it was?
I think.
Could you imagine if it just rained?
Movie?
No, it wasn't Pauly Shore. It had the guy that played Batman. Not Batman. The guy who played Spider-Man.
There's been like 5 of those too.
Yeah. It's been like 5 or 6
I don't think of who that guy is. But anyway, it was like the perfect. Like it rained on a certain day. Happy place is what they just said. But anyways, like everything was just laid out perfect. Like every so many days it rained and blah blah blah. And could you imagine if it was like that, where you didn't have to either be struggling with drought or struggling with too much humidity and rain? So like last year we got so dry that I didn't even have to worry about fungicides. We got so dry.
Yeah, you were struggling last year. You were struggling.
I'm struggling all the time.
Yeah, it was raining. It was raining like crazy up until the last probably week and a half. And then the last week and a half, it hasn't really rained too much. We had a big storm come through this weekend and like one little rain shower last week, like overnight. But for the most part, it's been dry for about 2 weeks. It hasn't rained a whole lot, which was nice because it literally rained for like 3 weeks straight. It was just like overcast, some sort of rain shower every day. Not like Nate's had it. Like Nate's gotten obviously dumped on, but wasn't too bad. What about the rest of y'all in the live chat? What have you guys been working on this weekend? Where you at? Share your experiences. Chime in. Because there's only 3 of us, and I know you guys like us, and we like you too, but I don't know if you just want to hear the 3 of us dorks sit around and talk about rain. Maybe you do. I don't know. It's a much less entertaining show tonight with only 3 of us on and no real set topic.
Trying to figure out how to share some pictures again.
But yeah, I'm psyched about I'm psyched about my little putting green. I definitely want to make it super rad. We'll see how the Kentucky bluegrass does. I mean, the 365 on the other side last year was kind of like a test to see how low I could keep it, and I was able to keep it pretty darn low, like 1/4 of an inch, and it didn't die out through the summer, so that was pretty good. But I still don't know if that's really going to be low enough to putt on it the way I want to, so we'll see what ends up happening with it. I mean, who knows? Maybe it ends up going and I kill it off and put down some bent grass and do it for real. We'll see.
What's your target height?
Well, like I said, last year I kept the 365 around 1/4 of an inch, and it did pretty well. So I'm still just, since I just planted it in in the fall, and I felt like it was still really patchy. I'm still just hesitant to take it down less than 1/4 of an inch because I want it to keep growing in. It really is still growing in. I mean, the pictures don't really do it justice. I mean, if you're right on top of it, you can see where it's like a little bit patchy still. It's still got to kind of grow in and go from there. So, oh, but it's on the way. It's definitely looking pretty exciting, but there's some little spots where it's just a little thin. And I'd like to see it grow in. So I don't know, maybe you guys can answer that for me. Like if I keep it really low, if I keep it like even less than 1/4 inch or 1/4 inch, there's some rye mixed in there too, but is that going to help push like stolen growth in the bluegrass if I keep it low? Or is it better for me to keep it higher? Does the plant need to grow up and over? Or if we keep it low, will it push growth laterally? I don't know.
We put some plant growth regulator on there.
What's that?
We put any plant growth regulator on there?
No.
Any nitrogen?
Yeah. Like I said, I put some put like starter fertilizer down on it, and then I hit it like last week with some 600.
Well, the problem with that 600 is it's 6% nitrogen, but when you put it out at like 3 ounces to the 1,000 or something, you get like nothing
0.01.
Yeah, like you get nothing to speak of.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is you can also get plant growth regulator, which is the PGS that is designed to make it grow, not to hold it back.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 of those. There's one from the what's that company called? Ecologic? The people who make hydrotane.
Ecology.
There you go. They got the Cytogrow, and then you got Heritage that has the PGS. And I mean, it is so concentrated. I mean, you just use like nothing, but it stimulates growth instead of using just nitrogen. I can send you a link to that if you want.
Yeah, let me know. Because I really want to try to push the lateral growth of the bluegrass so that it really fills in some of those, like I said, not bare spots, but there's definitely some spots that are a little bit more scarce where I had like some seed washout and things like that. So
let's see here. PGS. I know a lot of people use that like in ball fields and stuff where they get a lot of
traffic.
Traffic, yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Sorry, but a lot of traffic or something like that, like around dugouts and different things where they need it the turf to grow and stay healthy and thick. They'll use this PGS. Let's see here, Gravity L PGS. It's like $75 for a quart, but I mean it is super, super concentrated.
Well, I will look into that.
Oh. Yeah, I would. That's what I was
like I said, I don't know that I can really make a determination on, how low I can keep it and how successful it is as a putting green with bluegrass until it's really like spread laterally and it's nice and thick. And it isn't, like I said, it is in a lot of spots, but a couple spots just a little slower to take. But anyway, I'm hoping to cut the cups in this weekend, maybe even this week, maybe some night this week. Try to cut the cups in and get my pins in.
Do a little putting.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah,
I like to have a little something like that for the kids. I think it'd be cool for the big kid too.
after you get it done, you got to build some type of to make it like a mini golf. You know, like add some type of like
Windmill.
obstacle something.
Obstacles.
Yeah, it's like one or
Just one little
something in there.
obstacle.
You'd
Yeah,
have to have some that were removable though, where you still could mow.
yeah.
So
Get like some of those like mulch bed edge things with the spikes. You gotta kind of like put it in, make it like wiggle.
Good. Yeah, do
You
something.
could just take it right back out.
Or get like where you like you put it into something that like goes up and then it drops down, like goes right in the hole.
yeah, the only thing about it is most of that stuff is carpet that's glued on concrete, and you got all them crazy shapes. I still want to, have something I can mow, especially with the reel mower I got now. I did reel mow a little bit of the fescue at the shop, but it's all
How'd that go?
smoked off now. It's
Is it?
pretty decent. It's pretty cool, but I've smoked all that off. It's gone. I need to post a picture of that.
Yeah.
It's dirty.
How do you like that? How do you like that Rolex?
Man, that thing is cool. That thing is
Yeah.
cool. It's
I've been eyeing them
little-
up, man. I'm really, I don't know. I might try to get my hands on one. Not this year. Maybe next year I'll buy one though.
I like the solid. Well, it's a 2-piece back roller, but I like that big rubberized back drum.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a whole nother thing, when you're used to rotary mowing and then you get into that, it's totally different. So
Yeah.
I'm looking
What
forward
do
to
you?
that.
You're doing the sprigs? Is that how you're doing it?
Probably going to end up just doing side, and just that way it's instant gratification, just from dirt to.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to put I got well at the shop, so I'm gonna do the Hunter MP rotors.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that do the little single streams.
Yeah.
I'll do those instead of, and it may not be called a MP. I think it's called an MP rotor, but it's the little individuals instead of
Yeah.
a big single.
Yeah. That's what my above ground irrigation is.
Yeah. So I got to do all that, get it level, and then probably just do sod. That way it's just boom.
You
Put
gonna do
down some
the
earthworks 333 and then roll some sod.
you gonna do the irrigation before you do all
Yes.
that? Yeah. Just
Yes.
after it's killed off and bare dirt, basically.
Yeah, I want to do some leveling first because over at the shop it was just a cow pasture at one time, so it had some, hills and rolls and what do they call them? A trevet? What do they call it? It'll come to me in a minute, but basically had some stuff cut in it to where it control water.
Tiling?
But no, not tiling. We call it a Travis or something. I can't think what it's called now. My brain ain't working. Might be this. But anyway, we'll get it level. We're gonna get it level. So, and then bury all the plumbing.
Nice. What do you know what Bermuda grass you're gonna put over there? You're gonna do the iron cutter?
Iron cutter.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm gonna do the iron cutter. And then I got another spot where I'm gonna do the 365S SS. That way, there you go. Yes, sir.
Terrace.
My brain's not working. Yeah, my brain's not working. But
is there a sod local that does the iron cutter?
I don't know about how local, but he is in North Carolina. He might be like an hour away.
Oh.
But they do either the sprigs or the sod.
Nice.
So, and they're trying to get more of the iron cutter to be popular in North Carolina at these new home builds because it stays green longer than your normal Bermuda.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing they're trying to do. And then that way, like I say, I'm gonna do the 365 where it used to be my little garden, and then that way I can have some experience with straight 365 low, and then warm season low. So Poana won't be a problem no more when you got that warm season. It's dormant. Just go out there with some glyphosate, take care of that Poana. So That's gonna be different.
That's gonna be different. Not cutting it 5 inches too.
I don't cut 5 now. Actually, today I got down to 3 1/4.
Really?
And if I have another day this week, I might try to keep it at 3. The problem is dealing with 3 acres. You need 2 hours to mow it,
By the
and
time
then
you're
about
done,
3 days later, you need 2 hours again. And I'd love to keep it at 3. I mean, I'd love to keep it at 3, but I just can't mow often enough.
yeah.
I kept the shop at 3, but it was only 4,000 square feet. And then I'm there all day, so I can go out there and dick around and do it.
Go out and mow on lunch.
Yeah, I just mow when I want to over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you get fed up, bust your knuckles on something, just go out and mow real quick.
Go get the drone and get the GoPro and go out there and make some stripes. The bad thing about that, though, the 4,000 square feet, you get started and then you're done. You're like, oh, dang, this is just getting fun. Now I'm finished.
What you should do is just get there in the morning and mow it, and then right before you leave, you mow it again.
Oh yeah.
And see,
you got to let the dew get off of it, man.
No, you got to cut it then. That gets the dew off of it.
Yeah, you get the dew mow.
Oh,
that's like a big real mowing guy thing.
With real mowing, you can.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be in the future.
When are you hoping to be done with the shop?
I was hoping already to be done. Getting sick, getting pneumonia, and all that crap. That I messed up a lot of plans. So as soon as I can, I lost being sick. I lost about a month, and it didn't help that they thought I had bronchitis. So kept treating me for that, and I just kept getting sicker. So
no good.
How long has it been killed off for?
Probably a month.
Jeez. How many apps did you do? Did you have to hit it a couple times?
2.
Nothing else grew back?
Some weeds. But we're going to level it up, so I'll get the skid steer on there and get the Harley rake and get after it, and that stuff won't matter.
Yeah, just tear it all up.
Then take the Geo Ripper and put my trenches in. That's basically what you had, was a Geo Ripper with 2 tires, wasn't it?
Shit.
Did you have to pull that thing the whole time?
Fuck yeah.
That thing looked like a bear.
So I'll explain that son of a bitch. So we first fired up, and behind the wheels you can see sprockets, right? So like me and my dad are looking at it for like 5-10 minutes, like, man, like where's like the drive, like what lever, what do you do, like how do you get this thing to drive? And I'm looking at the pictures, and it's got like all these arrows like this on it. And I'm like, what in the world? And so I, straight up YouTubed it, and sure as shit, nope. It's like, nope. It's manual. So basically what you have to do is you just let it kind of go the front end, tip down and trench. Then you got to pull the handle down to tip up the blade, pull it back like a tooth on the sprocket, and then you drop it back down, and it just goes back down.
Oh,
and God. If you try and go back, if you try to pull back like 2 or 3 teeth, it would like pull itself forward, and then it'd go back. And I shit you not, it was 15 hours of trenching this 300, whatever it was, 300 and some feet. And then we threw the chain a couple times, and we had to like get the chain back on. And then the next day. So yeah, so I think 1 o'clock, we started 1 o'clock on Friday trenching, and it was dark, and I finally shut it off. So it was 9:30 at night, Friday night, and I stopped, and I wasn't done trenching yet. And then Saturday morning got up, and 7:30, 8 o'clock, I went out and started trenching again, finished up the front. Then I had to come to the back and do the main water line from the house out to there. Got that all done. And we had to, luckily I rented it for 24 hours, but then finally took it back, washed it all up, took it back. And it was, like I said, we had it for right at 24 hours. But
how deep did you cut your sod?
I never measured it, but it's probably That's probably, I don't know.
Well, we
What's
know you can't
8
read a tape
inches?
measure. You can't read a tape measure,
8
no way.
inches at least.
It was a solid 11.
Yeah.
I mean, I said it as deep as it could go. Well, then,
Sure you did.
yep. Got it
Well, I
all
mean, why
in there.
wouldn't you? I'd
Exactly.
set
Oh
it
my
as deep as I could go too.
Let's put it this way. We went balls deep on the old sod cutter.
Well, the
But
reason
no.
I asked is whenever I fixed some stuff here and I had that sod cutter at first, they had it set like 1.5 inches, and I thought, well, man, I want to get on down there and get like a 3-inch cut.
Yeah.
That gets so freaking heavy when you cut that
Yes.
deep and roll it up.
bet.
It is insane.
Yeah.
And so I ended up going back to their 1.5 inches, their original setting, because I thought, well, I'm going to save as much root as I can.
Yep.
But dude, you start rolling that up, and I remember people making fun of me because I was rolling it up and putting it on a hand truck and taking it to the repair spots. You start rolling up 5-6
Heavy.
foot of sod.
Oh, it's heavier than shit.
Oh, God bless.
Well, so basically when you cut it, it doesn't have like a cutter cutting in sections.
No.
So it's just one huge chunk, which I'll tell you what, so the sod cutter, that thing, if you look at my video I posted today, my arms, it just like shook the living shit out of me. And within like 2 minutes, my hand, I had like blisters and everything all over my fingers from that thing, from just like going like that, it was just like rubbing on my hand. I get done, I'm like, damn. So like literally the first hour of the whole project, I got these I still got like scabs in my hand from it. So that was like, oh, great. So then on that, so I got this open wound on my hand, and then me and my dad are trying to like do some, we're putting the ramps on the truck, and we're pulling the straps, and he grabs the strap, which my finger was right there. So I got this open cut, and he grabs my finger like this and starts yanking the strap, and I'm like, oh, like just literally like yanked my, oh, it's so painful. But yeah, so we cut all the sod. And then, you have to take like basically a spade and go through and cut it into chunks. And then I was talking to some people, and they said, don't roll it. They said, when you roll, it'll stretch it out more, and it'll actually make them like, so they said, just basically lift it up and pull it straight off and set it down. So that's what we did. And yeah, to your point, like, there's some chunks that are, I don't know, 2 foot long. And you get some chunks that are like 4 foot long, and you go to pick those up, you're like, oh shit, there's a big difference in that weight. When you pull it off, but yeah, so yeah, I mean the sod cutting actually went pretty smooth, which is crazy because like when you're cutting it, you feel like you're just like literally like all over the place, and did not feel like you're cutting in a straight line at all. And then when you get done, you're like, damn, like it's actually like a nice straight path and everything. But never ran one before. There's one time where we didn't have the depth set. We didn't lock it in, and so when we started it floated, and it just scalped the living shit out of it. So I got one that's like this thin, and it looks bad. It looks real bad. So
the good thing about all the rain you're getting, you're not having to keep that sod wet, because once you cut that like that, you have to keep it watered, or it will it'll croak.
Yeah,
so at least
like I said, we just
plenty of moisture.
And like I said, all weekend it was like 90 for the weekend. I got sunburned and everything while we were out there, but like I said, we just set it off to the side and did all that, and then trenched everything, and then did all the wires, all the PVCing, got all the heads, everything put back together, and then the rain came and filled everything back in for us nicely, and then just kept working on it now. And like I said, all last week was just come home from work and throw 6-7 pieces of sod and try and get it, trying to smooth out the clay back there and get it like halfway filled in and stuff like that, and throw a few pieces of sod. And the next day, come home, do the same thing. Finally got it all done like Friday. I think it was Friday is when I finally got it all done. So
big time labor of love.
Yeah, I don't know if I would do the sod again. That's probably one thing. It's
a lot of work, man.
It added a lot of complexity to it. That's definitely, I mean, I'm glad I did it because, then I didn't have to buy more seed and whatnot. And I'll probably just do a general overseed over the whole lawn, just kind of try and blend it back in this fall. But I didn't want to have a trench line. I didn't want to have a dark or, something like that. I didn't want to have that. That's one thing I didn't want to have.
Yeah. The nice thing about the sod, and that's what I hope to do here, because, I'm going to add 20 zones. and I'll probably just do a zone at a time,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to cut the sod, probably flip it over out of the way, and then trench, because when you trench in your turf, you got to try to rake all that crap back out of the turf into the
Yes.
ditch, and you can't. If you got if you got the sod cut off, and then you can trench, honestly, you need to go to one side, because the trencher puts more dirt on one side of the chain than the other.
Yeah, we
So
tried that. Yeah, yep. We tried all that, but it kept wanting to pull to the one side. So it was like I'd start out on the left, and then you just see my line going like this, and then it just it's almost like it just settled in.
About like those stripes behind you, huh?
Yeah, about like that. But it was weird.
I've almost thought about doing, which is more work, but do two cuts with the sod cutter, flip the sod out, and have plenty of room to work.
Oh yeah.
That way you got room for the dirt to be on one side, and then rake it in, pack it back, and then flip your sod up. But the thing about that is you get instant gratification when you cut the sod like that.
Mm-hmm.
You're back together, and as long as you keep it watered, it roots back down.
Yeah.
That's what you really can't tell.
Yep. And that's what I'm hoping, to as soon as I got it back together, I hit it with some fertilizer, and then, it rained. And then a couple days later, I think can't remember what night it was. And then I went out and sprayed some root booster from Turf Titan, and then sprayed some humic from the soil hume from Simple Lawns, which I haven't done any of that all year. I've only done one app of fertilizer, in April or whatever it was. And that's all I've done in my whole lawn. I haven't put nothing on it that I normally do. So I'm ready to start pushing some stuff on it now and get it going. But yeah, throwing that fertilizer down and all the rain, shit, it's growing like crazy now. So it's weird because, I go out there and I look at it and I'm like, oh, it looks like shit. But then I look back pictures a week ago. It's like, whoa, okay, maybe it's not as bad as I think, and hopefully I definitely got to do some leveling, once. I'll probably wait till fall and probably just try and top dress around it and stuff like that. And we'll see. It's just grass. It'll grow back.
That's right.
So, but now got some sprinklers in the ground.
Yeah. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. They're freaking cool. It's freaking cool. I'll tell you that much. So.
Yeah, they look cool. I haven't seen him in person, but just looking at the videos and from talking to him a couple weeks back, I mean, that's
just been reading.
Looks awesome.
Yeah, actually, like I said tonight, I'll say this: the one thing that, and they're fully aware of it, but I have an Android phone, and the app, and on the Android phone, they don't get along very well.
Oh yeah,
it's time to upgrade, man. It's time to upgrade to the iPhone.
I just don't want an iPhone, man. But instead I'm just gonna buy an iPad. I'm just gonna buy a used iPad, and that's what I was doing all weekend. My wife brought an iPad home from work, and I just downloaded it on there, and that's what I've been doing is using on there. A, the screen's much bigger, and B, it's I just stand out in the yard with the iPad and just moving the dots and playing around with them. And so right now I got all the zones set. For the pattern. Now I really got to fine tune it. I got to stand out there on the lot line, and maybe I need to go out 6 more inches or 2 more inches or whatever it is just to really dial it in. But it's
this is 2, and then this is 6.
Oh, shit, I thought it was the other way. but yeah, so but like I said, it's coming along. It's pretty cool. But yeah, but kind of got scared because when I got everything in the ground, and my phone was saying it just kept searching, and it kept saying oh, there's something wrong. They didn't say, oh, everything's fine. So I'm like, okay. So then I'd try to do something, and it'd say, oh, there's an error, and I'm like, what? So I just kept going back and forth, and then what was really cool is one of the guys who's the head of the their tech support. He follows me on Instagram, and I had posted something, and he actually messaged me 11 o'clock at night. He's like, hey, I'm the head of tech support. And he's like, gave me all this stuff. He was like, if you need anything over the weekend, just message me. So all weekend when I was installing it, I'd send him something. I'd be like, is this right? Yep. And I'd show him a screenshot of something, and he'd help me walk through it and stuff like that. So, and then like I said, he was like, I'll just send you an iPad and that way you can get everything programmed and do it that way. He said, we know the Android sucks and we're working on it, and so then what day was it? Oh, this Saturday, I called their sport number, and the guy on the other line, he just popped on real quick, gave him the number of the controller. He like logged into it and he calibrated all the heads. We just stood there in the lawn and he did the calibration of all the heads from the phone. And then that's when he's like, I'll just send you an iPad, and then that way you can set up all your zones and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, shit, I'll just have my wife grab one from work and do that. So, I will say they're tech support, and they're like just calling that number, and those guys they're a good help. So
whenever your phone right now won't hook to it.
It will.
It will.
It will. Yeah. It hooks to it. It's got everything, but like it's almost like it's a weak signal. That's kind of like what it feels like. So like, I mean,
say you're getting ready to aerate. Yeah, okay. Say you're getting ready to aerate, like like I have the Ratio or whatever it's called. And what's cool is you can just take your phone, turn the zone on for say a minute, and go flag all the heads right quick.
Yep, I can do that.
You'll be able to do that. Okay.
Yeah. And like I said, I was on Marketplace today looking for like a used iPad, and I'm just gonna buy like a used iPad and just use it for that. But yeah, I mean the phone does work, and they're working on kind of some upgrades to the app. It was just one of those things where like I'd open the head, and then I'd put a dot out there, and then it would be like say it's searching, and I'm like, so they were saying it's not actually searching, it's just like it's something between the app and the heads, and that's what it is. But as soon as I got the iPad, I mean, I haven't had a single glitch using an iPad, which is kind of wild, So it's definitely an Android thing. Because while I was staying out there, like I said, just staying out there tonight, just literally just putting all the dots in and moving it around, and I mean, it flowed smooth.
Just go ahead and get an i15 and be done with it.
Yeah, we'll see. Bad thing is like my house, like a lot of my Google, I like all like my doorbells and all the Google Homes and all that stuff, and some of my TVs in the garage, it's all for Google. It's just like I don't want to mess. So
yeah, the Google Home app for iPhone works pretty good too.
Does
it? It does.
So
you can still do it.
We'll see. It probably depends which cell phone company will give me a free phone when I switch. So God knows I ain't paying that much for a freaking cell phone.
Wow, that's true
just
too.
bounce back to the old company for another 2 years and come back to this company for another 2 years and just keep getting free phone.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Man. It's been fun following along and seeing everything you're doing.
Yeah.
That's for
and
sure.
I'm way behind on videos. Like it was one of those things where like, and I'm not the greatest at like taking videos and doing content. Like that's something I need to work on, but I get in that mode of like, I just want to work. I just want to get shit done. Yeah. Like I don't have my creative mind going when I'm like, especially I got my parents here and I'm like, hold on, I need a video of this. And they're like, put the damn camera down and get your ass to work.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to work and do all that. And I'm like, oh, hold on, let me get a video. But so now that it's all in, I'm like, crap, like I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have got video of this. You start thinking about different things you wish you would have done, but it's like, man, I only had a weekend to get it done. I was trying to.
Yeah, but then you're, moving around a tripod and, trying to take videos and like trying to say something or whatever. It's like, then it ends up taking.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like, and then like
longer.
I wanted to get my drone out, and then, so by the time I got that out and got that out flying and everything, my dad's like, all right, it's time to go. Let's get to work. And I'm like, hold on, like I want to do this. I want to get this at least before we start doing something else. But
it's fine.
Yeah. But I'm glad they came down. That was good help. So
yeah, I bet.
Always good to have your parents come help you. So
for sure. Well, boys, we're about that time.
Yes, sir.
All right, everybody. Sorry for a rambling show, but that's what we do sometimes.
I'm gonna go give a shirt away on my Instagram. So
there you go. Yeah, everybody hop on.
All right.
Go see who wins a shirt from Nate. All right. Good night, everyone. We have
See you
no
guys.
exit music, so yeah.
Go Hawks. We'll
There,
end with
there it is. Later, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
See you guys.